What's up, family? It's another one for the century, man. We good?
For sure.
Get the viewers, provide the viewers. What's up, guys? It's your boy Quan. I'm back with another Fueled by Pain podcast. Now we are recording, man. What's up? It's your boy Quan. I'm back with another Fueled by Pain podcast, man. Today I have an amazing co-host. I will let her introduce herself, and then we will get started, okay? Let's do it.
Yeah, my name is Dominique Stringer. I go by Coach Stringer, and I'm excited to be here with you today, man.
Man, tell me a little bit about yourself, just to get the audience, excited. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, it's a lot. I got different umbrellas. Well, my name is Dominique again. I've been coaching basketball for almost 15 years. I played professional basketball for 3 years. I've helped over 125 kids go to college. I've kept over 60 men going to jail. I just do a lot for the community, man. I'm community-based. I'm big on mental health. I'm big on creating opportunities and creating platforms for people to go to the next level.
You said 165 kids?
125.
25.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I don't know which one it is. One of these got a bell over here. I don't know which one it is. I hope it went off. But that's insane. That's crazy. As a black woman, how does that make you feel on the inside?
Warm.
I know, that's right.
Accomplishment. It's something that it needs to be done. Somebody got to do it.
That's crazy. And where did that spark come from?
Myself.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Myself for sure.
So now we're going to take a step into the podcast questions as you all been waiting for. All right, let's get started. When you think back to your childhood, what's one memory that really shaped who you are today?
Good question. I would say sacrifice. I've seen my mom raise myself and my brother by herself, picking us up when she was early 20s. We moved to, Atlanta from California. I've seen the worst of the worst, from abuse, to just rough living. So I saw my mom pick up the pieces and create a life for me and my brother to live and grow and have opportunities ourselves. So sacrifice really instilled in who I am today.
Speaking about your mom, did you grow up in a single family household?
At the beginning, no. I had my father there at the time, but, like most stories, fathers, they do what they got to do and get on. So, by the time I was, 9 or 10, my mom did everything she could to, again, provide a life for me to be able to live comfortably. I've seen her make meals with just, frozen burgers and, the burritos and hot dogs. And, me and my brother just had to, take it in and what it worth. And we just saw her grind. And that's why I think my grind came from, where I was like, when I grow up, I want to be like my mom. I want to make sure she got a life to live comfortably as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
With your father leaving, a lot of times people build hatred towards that relationship. Did that ever occur for you, especially being a young lady with your dad leaving?
Of course. I hated him for a while, and during that time, I had to learn early on that I can't hate him forever. He made those choices for himself. And I lost my grandma while, hating him. And I told myself, I got to let it go. I can't continue. Yeah. I can't continue to let that harbor over how I felt during life and letting that make me this angry child. Because I was angry for a long time. And for me, it was just like, if that's what he chose, my mom's here. My family's still here. And I got to keep growing for me.
Absolutely. That's the best that you can do. One foot after the next, man.
Absolutely.
Was there ever a moment where you felt like basketball chose you rather than you choosing it?
Yeah, a couple times. A couple times. I will say the most important time is when I was going into becoming a real adult. I was making bad choices, and basketball wasn't on my mind anymore. Playing was no longer fun. I didn't find joy in it, and went through some life turns, and I had to start giving back to kids. I didn't want to. That wasn't my plan. Mm-hmm. But something told me I had to start pouring into these kids in the community, and that was the day I realized that from this day forward, I need to be able to pour into these kids in the communities and build my nonprofit.
What did that voice sound like inside your head?
Do better.
Do better. I know that's right.
Do better. That's right. I didn't want to be another statistic, man. I didn't want to be in the jails. I didn't want to be running these streets. I didn't want to do that stuff that I thought was cool at the time. And I knew that I had so many people that was looking up to me in the ways I didn't know at the time. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, I was like, okay, well, if it's basketball, it's basketball. If it's education, it's education. And again, life turns and you figure out things in the worst ways. And it's like, at that time, I knew what I had to do.
Absolutely. And that's nothing but God, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You mentioned rejection earlier in our in the format. Can you take us back to one of the lowest moments that you had and how you found strength to push forward?
One of my lowest moments, I would say, was young. I was real young. I would say I was in the 7th grade, and it was when I came out and I told my peers and my family that I was homosexual. And that term, it was that term at that time, but now it's lesbian. Yeah. And at that time, I lost a lot of friends. Again, I'm in the 7th grade. Friends are important at that age. You have to have friends. You have to have community. And I felt like I lost a lot of friends and a lot of family members around that time, and I felt like I was alone. And I think that at that point, my loneliness created doubt, and it created depression. I dealt with a lot of stuff at a young age. And I think that turned to me understanding who I was. It eliminated a lot of people who wasn't supposed to be there, and growing into that space, it wasn't a lot of us, I was probably one of like 2 people that was comfortably in their skin around that time. And again, not having friends, not having family support me, I just had my mom at that time, and I dealt with that for a couple of years to where people was finally able to accept, okay, this is becoming a normal thing now. Yeah, and now that I'm adult, now I'm adult, and I'm seeing all the people that's excited to live in their skin and all these new, languages and terms and, people telling their story. I'm like, dang, when I was that age, I didn't have those things. Exactly. So I was by myself dealing with rejection and loneliness and, humiliation because I was getting bullied, So I had to deal with all that stuff at a young age. And I think that was the lowest part of rejection because I couldn't call nobody my friend.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's so tough, and it's crazy because you're only trying to be you.
Yeah,
like you just want somebody to love you for you.
Absolutely.
That's simply it.
Absolutely,
it's crazy. Transitioning from a younger adult to a grown adult that you are now, do you see things differently? Do you understand in their eyes why they chose to treat you a certain way? Do you feel like it was something their parents taught them, or it was something they just simply couldn't understand?
It's 100% learned behavior. I think that for so long, the Bible was thrown at us. We're supposed to live this way. We're supposed to act that way. And again, my age, I'm telling my age, I'm 33 now. But when I was in 7th grade, there weren't a lot of examples of this lifestyle that I was trying to live. I didn't have any guidance of like, what was the right way, what was the wrong way. All I knew was what I was doing was wrong. And to have, again, one of my parents at the time not agreeing in that and telling me, you're going to go to hell. That's not nothing you tell your kid. Exactly. So then, having friends at the time, hearing their parent telling them that it's not right, it's 100% taught behavior because we wasn't out the womb just thinking like, it's not right. It's things that we've been told, things that we have been, thrown at against us. So, at that time, I really think it was people that just heard that these things were wrong.
Absolutely, man. People take onto the trend. They forget that people are human beings. Everybody deserves love, people. Absolutely. If you're listening, you deserve love.
Absolutely.
You deserve
100%.
love.
100%.
I tell you, man. If young Dominique could see where you are today, what would she think? What would she say to you, actually? What would she say to you?
She would say, absolutely, you survived. You overcame. You accomplished everything that they said you couldn't do. I think my younger self would be proud. Like I said, I've overcame so much from being a young kid to a young adult, even to this day. But I think the younger me that did not see a future for myself would be absolutely proud of who I became.
That's an incredible statement. A younger me that didn't see a future for myself. It's crazy. I used to tell people, I actually don't tell people. It's crazy. Back when I was in middle school and high school, man, I was so low in my self-esteem. I would actually like wake up in the morning, like, damn, like look in the mirror, like God, why don't nobody, love me for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why when we go to school, why ain't the ones been picked out as a cute one? You know what I'm saying? Like, why this had to be, why you know what I'm saying? Like, questioning God, questioning himself, but questioning his word, what he did for me. And I realized it didn't matter.
Right.
I'm here. I still have the ability to achieve, to love, to put out what I want so much in return, man. So that's why I tell people, man, put into the world what you really want to receive, because you never know what somebody needs.
That's true. 100%.
That rhymed.
You got bars.
You feel me? What was it like being one of the only young 5 women to receive a full ride to Osborne High? Did you feel pressure, pride, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both, I say. Again, in high school, I was, at the point when I got in high school, I was now the popular one. I was the one rapping. And
you was booming
now. I was rapping.
Okay.
I was doing shows. I had a chance to get signed and all that good stuff. And
you did not? Did you put that in?
Nah, I didn't put that in. I was going to be signed early on. I was going to be the soldier girl of my era.
Hey.
But, basketball for me, it didn't click until I was a junior You know, I played it. My mom forced me to play some sports because I had to do something, but I didn't think I was going to college for it. You know, I didn't learn until my junior year of college. It was like, you got to figure this out. Again, being popular, you don't have people in your corner telling you to chill out, to do the right thing, you know, go to class. I was skipping class. I was getting suspended, man. I was just doing all kind of crazy stuff and for no reason at all. And I look back like, damn, why nobody was telling me to get off these desks? I was walking on desks. I was just doing crazy stuff. But, you know, I saw all my friends that I looked up to getting offers. You know, I said this in another podcast. I went to Auburn University for a camp, and I'm like, I want to go there. And it wasn't until I went there and saw the kids I was going against for scholarships with academics, and it shook me. I'm like, I'm not ready for that. So, you know, I went to a couple colleges. I tried out because I didn't have the grades, and I got a couple offers, but, you know, then it came with package deals. You're not tall enough. If she's not coming to the school, you can't come to school. So when I finally went to Lawson State in Alabama and they gave me my full ride, I felt like, okay, I deserve this, you know. But then I had my peers. I was getting full rides to D1s and D2s. But I was thankful to just get an opportunity at college.
Absolutely.
Because, again, I wasn't where I was as a kid. I didn't think I was going anywhere past where I was. I didn't think I was going to make it to that level in my life. And when I got there and I was getting, you know, celebrated and everybody's clapping, I'm like, okay, I did it, you know. But then it turns into, okay, what you gonna do with it now? Like, now you gotta go to college. It's a whole nother ball.
Now you gotta stay. Now you gotta keep up with it.
Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely an adjustment for sure.
And you have younger siblings?
Yeah, I got a little brother.
So going off to college, you got a little brother. Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
So going off to college, allowing him to see that you the first.
Yeah.
I'm sure that pressure was on you. How does that make you feel mentally? Like still moving forward, that somebody's always looking up to you.
I didn't want to mess up because he looked up to me so much. You know, it was everything I did. He wanted to do. You know, same jersey number, same school, and I felt like if I let my brother down, it's another discouragement for me. You know, because I can let everybody else in the world down, but my brother, I couldn't let him down. You know, even to this day, he still look up to me. You know, he's my mini-me. He my big little brother. And I knew that he was watching everything I did. Because, again, not having your father there, you gotta really latch on to your mom and your sister. And I knew that him watching me, it meant a lot to him. So I didn't want to mess up at all.
Shout him out. Talk to him.
My little brother, JC, you know, he's a fitness trainer, big bulk dude. You know what I mean? He called me his little sister. But he know I love him. I got a tattoo on my arm for him. That's my pride and joy for sure.
Hey, man, I appreciate you too, man. You helped her get through the journey. Little do you know.
For sure.
Basketball has so many lessons beyond the court. What's one that life has taught you that still drives you to this day?
Good question. So many lessons. I would say for sure, you never know who's watching. I think I heard that so much being in the gym that you, like even in high school, you never know if it's a scout coming, if a school's coming, or, you know, somebody in there that want to potentially get you to go to another high school. You just never know who's in the gym. And I use that for life because everything I do now, whether it's on social media, if I'm posting something, if I'm, you know, trying to pop my stuff, I just never know who's watching. If I'm trying to get an opportunity to go to NBA, you just never know who's going to go and do a deep dive on your YouTube or what you tweeted back in 2010. So I always live by, you just never know who's watching. And I always try to watch what I say, what I do, not just for my image, but stuff on social media don't go away. So I always just be very protective of what I put online.
Absolutely.
So
that's real. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
yeah,
got to, man.
Absolutely.
You played, coached, and mentored. What role has stretched you the most, do you feel?
Coaching.
How is the struggle between coaching? How old are your athletes usually?
When I was coaching in high school, you know, between the 14 and 18. Now that I coach semi-pro, my oldest is 44. My youngest is 22. Mm-hmm. So I've dealt with a big range of athletes.
What's the mentality that comes along with coaching in that realm? Having somebody that's older than you, younger than you, right alongside of you, but you still have to maintain that level of leadership to get the job done. What does that look like?
It's hard sometimes. You know, at first glance, when I first started coaching semi-pro, I had to really gain respect of grown men. And grown men do what they want to do, especially when another woman is telling them to do something. It could be dangerous sometimes. I think I went into it with the mindset of I want to help. I'm not coming to be your mama. Mm-hmm. I'm not coming to be your auntie. I'm coming to help, you know. And I deal with a lot of black men, a lot of prideful black men. Mm-hmm. And mental health is a big thing. Again, when I'm coaching, man, I never think about, oh, they finna come today and tell me a lifelong story. I dealing with this stuff. And I learned early, these men need us. women, you know, not to be companions, but to listen. So there's a lot of times where I'm a leader, but I understand, like, after practice, I got to listen to 4 different stories. Whether it's, you know, them trying to see their kids, whether they're dealing with child support, dealing with their dad, broken homes. I'm dealing with a lot of those stories. So when I'm coming to the gym, yeah, I'm going to be tough and be hard to get whatever you boil inside of you out of you. And then afterwards, you can talk about whatever you couldn't get out with your words. So, I mean, sometimes it's hard to be a coach. Sometimes it's hard to be a mentor. Sometimes it's hard to be an educator. But I always just try to gain trust, build rapport, and understand who I'm dealing with.
That's real.
Yeah,
hey, man. You spitting, I ain't gonna lie. You putting on. You definitely putting on. Okay. How do you navigate moments where you felt like you giving your all, but the results didn't match your efforts?
Sometimes I want to cry. You know, even now to this day, you know, dealing with corporate life, it's hard every day. But I think I have 2 choices, and I tell this to people that look up to me as well. It's either you're going to please the naysayers or please yourself. Whether you're going to feed into the people that's doubting you or really prove to yourself you can get over something. And for me, I just always just try to keep going. It's easier said than done, of course, but it's picking your battles. I understand that life is short. You get 24 hours a day. I get it. I just always try to make the best I can out of that day. And some days are easier than others. Absolutely. Some days are hard where I just check out and I just lay in my bed. And I can sit here and say that all days aren't great. You know, and even in those days where I lay in the bed and I just don't want to get out of it, I give myself that moment. You get that moment that day, and the next day you got to figure it out.
Absolutely. Can't stay there for too long.
Nope.
Can't get complacent. Can't stay there. That's one thing I learned, boy. That's why I call it a shady season and not shady life, because seasons come and they go, just like mental health.
Absolutely.
But you know that lifelong story is there forever, and you can't beat yourself up.
Absolutely.
Like you see, I came here beat myself up early, but yeah, I was a wreck when I came in here.
No, and it worked out. It all worked out.
God took care of it, man, for real. But definitely, what inspired you to start Action No Mercy, and what is the first day? What did the first day feel like? This is real now.
Oh, good question.
Let me repeat the question, actually. What inspired you to start Action No Mercy, and what was the first day like, and what did you decide on? How did you even get started with it?
Well, Action No Mercy was a slogan I used to say before each game in college. I created it because after I left my first year at the college I was at, I didn't think I was going to have another opportunity. Mm-hmm. And when I got my second scholarship, I told myself that this was personal journey. So every time I was stepping on the court, I would post like a picture with a hashtag and say Action No Mercy. And I told myself that every time I step on the court, it's action, no mercy. Like, I'm not giving nobody nothing. Like, yeah. So I was thugging it out my whole college career. Like, I built an ass. So I know that. So after that, you know, when I moved to Missouri, when I started my journey after, you know, life took its toll, whatever, I started Action No Mercy. And I'm like, these kids in the community of St. Louis, I don't know if y'all know much about St. Louis, but St. Louis is a place where opportunity is needed. Like, it's a lot of kids that's just going through the trenches, man. Like, when I first moved there, it was around the time like Mike Brown and stuff was going on. And it was a lot of kids. They just didn't have an out. You know, they needed that. That mental health was needed. There wasn't a lot of people that was talking to the community. So I told myself, I said, man, I'm going to start this nonprofit. I'm going to pour into the community. So I started with basketball training. Then I went to, you know, mental health conversations. And then I just started sending kids to college. But these were kids that I was dealing with. Like, I dealt with a kid trying to take his life, you know, because he didn't think he was good enough to play basketball. I dealt with a lot of kids that had parents that was beating them, you know what I mean, that are getting adopted and just using the money to, like, take it and not take care. So I was dealing with a lot of those kids. And when I built my nonprofit, the first day I knew that I was like, oh, this is what I need to be doing. I would have to say the first day I walked in the gym and I was like, I do not want to coach. Like, I don't want to do it. And I saw these kids that was probably like 8 or 9. And I just saw them dribbling the ball. I'm like, they're not doing that shit right. They're not dribbling it right. I don't like it. And I'm like, I'm teaching them, you know, and they just smiling. And I'm like, oh, this shit warmed my heart. Like, okay, let me keep doing it. So it was really those little kids. They probably like 19, 20 now, but, you know, those kids definitely set a fire to me, and I just knew, like, I couldn't be in the streets no more, man. I couldn't be chasing this life, this fast life, these women. I couldn't do that no more, and I just really wanted to help these kids go to the next level.
The crazy part is, I think you realized that day that somebody needed you, and it wasn't somebody that you could see, hear, or touch at that moment.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, God works in wonders, man. I keep saying God, but I tell you, man, God is making wonders in my life, man. I got to give him glory, man.
For sure, always.
You helped, I actually want to bring you back to that. You helped over 125 athletes get scholarships. Can you share a story of one that touched your heart in a special way?
See, that's hard. You put me on the spot. It's so many stories, man.
I know, right?
I'm trying to think of a good one, man. Like, I always talk about this young lady named Sophia Reed, but I feel like I got to do justice and give another story to somebody. I'm trying to think. I'll speak about this young man named Ashton Matthews. I think I sent him 2 years ago. He was one of my point guards, a little smaller, overlooked, wasn't the tallest, wasn't the greatest shooter. A lot of coaches did not want to work with him because they felt like he didn't have the skill, and they did not understand his barriers. And I said it because he was a delayed learner. You know, there's no secret to that. Delayed learner. I was a special education teacher for 7 years, so I specialized in working with different, backgrounds. And no coach ever took the time to figure him out as a person first. And, when I took him in, he was a sophomore playing on the varsity team on the AAU circuit. And his skill, like, I could see his skill. You could see skill in anybody. And he was really, really good for my eyes, not everybody's. And he just did everything he needed to do. So we signed him, and he wasn't getting any scholarships at first. And he's like, man, am I good enough? Am I going to go to college? It's like it's hard to see kids that work that hard not get anything out of it. And I just told myself, I'm going to do whatever I can to get this kid an opportunity to go to college. So he played with me one last year before I moved to Atlanta, and he took off, just took off. But he got a scholarship. He got a full ride to go to a D3. He got a full academic scholarship. They don't give athletic money. He went there. He made an impact. He's there now, going into sophomore year, and he was one of the special kids. His whole family, I worked with his whole family, all three of them, and he was a special kid to me. He really touched my heart. He challenged me as a coach, for sure.
For sure. Hey, man, that's a beautiful story. Shout out to Mr. Williams. Oh, Matthews. There we go. Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking about Williams. Matthews. Definitely. Shout out to Mr. Matthews. How do you often instill resilience in a young black man when the world often counts them out before they even start?
Well, I'm tough. I think a lot of times when I first started coaching men and boys, they thought that it was a different world with women coaches. I changed that quick. I don't play. But, I just try to let them know that the world is already hard on them, and I can be hard in a different way. When you tell me you want something out of life, whether it's I'm trying to go pro or if I'm just living out something I want to be as a kid, I'm going to push you to that.
Absolutely.
You can't tell me that you want to do something, and then when I push you, you don't go there. Then it's a tug of war. And I believe in opportunities. I believe in chances. I had a man that just got fresh out of jail, and I had to figure out how to adapt him to follow directions, and I figured it out. Hard. Yeah, I figured out it's not even that men are just, they're not capable. They just need the direction sometime or somebody to believe in them. So I just really try to believe in these men, whether, again, if it's for fun or trying to go to a higher purpose. And I just want them to have the best opportunities, but I'm in their ass. Like, the way we carry ourselves when we walk in the gym is not how you're going to send us to my pro team. The way we talk is not how I'm going to allow you to talk around me. When we get to, heightened games where they want to fight, I don't play that shit. Like, if we going to fight and do that shit, I do it in our own time. Yeah. In our gym, if we can't control it, that's something different. But when we playing and we start talking, time out, hey, we going to do that shit. Yeah, we don't play that. And I think that, again, my guys, they respect me. They built me for 2 years, and they understand me as a person. They understand they represent a nonprofit as well. Mm-hmm. So the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they play, it's a difference that you're going to see that you see any other team in Atlanta or anywhere else.
And it means something.
Absolutely.
It means something different. That's the biggest thing of it all. You instilling that moment of greatness inside of these men and women, I'm sure means the world to them. Yeah. Somebody looking at them and not seeing a burden.
Yeah.
Somebody's giving them a second chance. That's what it's about. People in life deserve second chances. If you out there and you strict, and I understand life goes on, people deserve second chances, man. Love exists for a reason.
Absolutely.
Give it out.
Absolutely.
Speaking of love and speaking of your nonprofit, if your nonprofit had a heart, what would it beat for the loudest for? Education, mentorship, or opportunity?
Opportunity for sure.
Opportunity for sure.
When you think about Action of Mercy, you think about sending kids to college. You think about sending men and women overseas or giving them a platform to play and be out the streets, man. The biggest thing is being out the streets. For these grown adults that I coach, I don't want anybody to ever feel like they didn't have a way to provide for themselves or be into something. If you're in the gym 4 times a week, you ain't got time to be doing any nonsense. You could. Yeah. You really got to stretch your time. But I just, somebody asked me, why do you care so much about black men? Because I feel like not a lot of people do. I always just try to help these black men. I seen my brother be raised by a woman. Nothing's wrong with it, but if he had a male figure, I think a lot of things would have been different.
Absolutely.
You know, I think a lot of opportunities were clear. You know, there's a lot of men that's going to jail because they just didn't have a platform to be on or an opportunity to be around. And I try to build community. You know, with these guys I coach outside of basketball court, they with each other all the time. You know, whether they on the Xbox, whether they chilling at a bar, they doing something productive. It's so many people looking at these black men, labeling them already as bad people, or, you know, I had one guy, 6'8", you know, dreads. Dang. He looked like somebody that would be categorized as what they might be. But, you know, you talk to these men, you find out they educated, they smart. You know what I mean? I just always want to provide those opportunities. Again, whether it's just being in the gym with some other like-minded man or just being around positivity. That's all I really want to do.
That's real. That's all you can do, man. Sure. And I'm telling you, man, it's a gift to be in that space, being able to do what you do, literally. That's why when you text me and I saw the profile, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a must. I got to. Like, I'm for anybody that's putting good into the world, man.
Sure.
What you put out, you will get in return. And like I always say, probably not from the person that you're giving it to, right? But God gonna put good in your life, man.
Absolutely, I agree.
What was the funniest misunderstanding you had while coaching? Yeah.
I didn't care because I was mean.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of time, even these grown men, man. Like when I coach my women in my semi-pro team, they know, like, I mean, they didn't play overseas in the league before. They understand, like, shit get rough, you know. It's just because people want the best out of you. But a lot of my men, like, if I kick them off my team or they don't get no playing time, it's, oh, Stringer don't like us. Stringer don't fuck with us. Oh, man, Stringer don't. Man, if I ain't care about you, you wouldn't even be here. If I ain't care about you, it's 1,000 men that want to be your spot. If I ain't care about you, why are you here?
How does that make you feel when that happens? When you got to take that hard step in?
Sometimes, I mean, it could be personal sometimes, but then again, it's like, you know, I deal with a lot of men with a lot of emotions. So I understand. Like I said, I have to understand the people I'm working with. Some guys are just very emotional and they don't believe in hard work. Some men, you know, just really think the world's out to get them, you know. But I try to make the attempt to always let these men know that I do care. Absolutely. And I'm not one of those coaches that just do it to waste time. Like, especially when I'm doing it for my free time and stuff. Like, if I'm going to do this, I want your all. Absolutely, and if that comes down to me cussing you out in the locker room or throwing a ball at your head.
It got to happen. You know
what I mean? It comes with the territory. But I've never not liked anybody that I've coached. If it's up to me, if I have to coach, if I have to pick you, then I pick you for a reason.
Absolutely. Throwing a ball at your head. Sometimes you get like that, though. It's needed.
Stop playing with me.
Most definitely. And just like that, we back with like a Cadillac with 4 flats. You heard, man. All right. Bringing it back up. I definitely wanted to tie into drinking and driving. A question I had was drinking and driving, second chances, and redemption. It came up in your answers. What does redemption mean to you personally?
Redemption is just, again, we talked about second chances. Is getting that second chance. I think everybody makes mistakes. For me personally, I think that redemption, it took a long time to really to get. You know, for me, I had to realize early on that you got to deal with your trauma head on. And I think that a lot of us don't deal with trauma, don't deal with the things in life that we should talk about, and it causes us to be in those situations. I know personally for me, like, I didn't want to deal with the things I was dealing with. Again, from childhood trauma to being in, you know, bad relationships, not speaking to the right people, I turned to drinking, you know, and drinking turned to partying turned to drinking and partying, drinking, partying, women. You know, I was around all those things. And again, not having the right people in my corner allowed me to be drinking and driving and getting everything taken from me twice. Twice. Yeah.
Jeez. I know in the first, so not that you say twice. The first time, let's talk about the first time. Take us through that journey.
Yeah,
Walk us through that story.
I moved to St. Louis out in the early 20s, chasing a basketball dream, you know, playing semi-pro, you know, being in a new place, a new person. In our community, lesbian community, you see fresh meat. Everybody want it, you know, so I felt like I was popping, you know, and being in the scene where I was still rapping, I was performing, I was doing pride events, I was doing all this stuff in the streets, you know, playing semi-pro, bro. I thought was really popping. I thought, like, I was that nigga. Ain't gonna lie. So, you know, I wound up getting a relationship. The relationship was not healthy at all. I was dealing with so much in that relationship, and, you know, being by myself in St. Louis, I feel like I had to just be with that relationship. And it turned so bad and so toxic. I was just drinking and still outside partying, doing all these things. And I remember one night after Pride, I performed at Pride. I went to the strip club. After I left strip club, I'm speeding, speeding drunk. I drove from East St. Louis to St. Charles, Missouri, and I got off my exit. Soon as I got off my exit, I got pulled over right in front of my apartment complex.
No.
Right in front of the apartment complex. They, took me out, did my test, whatever. I'm drunk. Like, I'm
toe up.
Drunk. And I'm lost. Like, all this stuff going on the news, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to get locked up, get beat. I didn't know what was going to happen. One of my friends at the time came and sent me back to my my apartment. The next day I got a call from my job. I was a therapist at that time. They stripped me from my job, man. Lost my job. And I'm in Missouri by myself. Lost my job. Can't pay my bills. I'm struggling. And that's when I started thinking about A&M. Like, I started my nonprofit right after that. Like, okay, if I'm doing this, I need to figure out something that's going to keep me sane. Started Action on Mercy, and things started to look up. Things got too good. Yeah. Too good. I start drinking again, and celebrating one night out with these women again. Women, drinks, and partying. Drove home again. Got off the exit. Right in front of my apartment, same place.
No way.
Got pulled over again.
Where you lying?
I swear to God.
Same spot?
Swear to God. Same spot. Got pulled over. At that time, I said, this is my second one. They said, if you get 2 within 5 years, you can do jail time. So I'm automatically thinking, I'm like, life is going good for me. Like, I'm not dealing with nothing that's too bad. I'm still dealing with this little toxic situation. Yeah. But, I got a good job. I'm teaching. I'm doing all that stuff. Got the second DUI, man. They took me down to the thing, fingerprints, called my mom. My mom going crazy on me. I'm going crazy, like, again. So
you hated to hear that. I know you hated to hear that.
I did. I lost everything again, and this time they ain't go light on me. The first time they just did, some fines. I had to do some classes. I had to walk to my classes. This time they put an ankle monitor on me for 60 days. I couldn't drink alcohol. If I drunk alcohol, my ankle brace would sense it to my PO. Then I get locked up.
They got that?
Yeah.
I didn't know ankle monitors can
they detect the sweat.
I did not know that.
I didn't either, so I had to put it on for 60 days. And then they put a breathalyzer in my car for a year.
You had to start it.
Every time I drive, I'm blowing. It's so embarrassing, man. I used to have kids in my car. Like, it was just embarrassing. After that, I said, I can't do this no more. Like, something got changed. So after that, like, life just, it went up after that. I had to deal with some. They got some money out of me, I ain't gonna lie. They got some money. They
always do.
But I was damn near homeless. I was living in my homegirl basement. It was a rough time, man. Them 7 years in Missouri was a gift and a curse, for sure.
Time really hit.
It did.
Life was beating that ass.
Been sober for almost 3 years, man. I don't take no
proud
alcohol, man. I don't do it. I don't
Congrats, though. You look. I wish I had the claps. I'm gonna add it in. I'm gonna take care of it. Hey, man, claps up for you for sure.
Man, I don't
proud
play
of
them
you.
games. I don't play them games.
Proud of you. That's different. To be able to walk down that journey and come out on the other end of testimony, not angry, not bitter, but proud that you got through it on the other side of it. Grateful.
I definitely could have drunk myself into a slump, man. But I mean, like I said, I got people looking up to me. I got family before. I can't just shut down. The world wants you dead anyway.
I know that's right, man.
Can't do it, man.
That's real. The world wants you dead anyway.
Absolutely.
Woo! This podcast is amazing, man. It's one of the ones, man. If someone wanted to make a movie about your life, what actress would you want them to play you and why?
This gonna be funny, but I'm gonna stand by it. For me, I'm gonna say Keke Palmer.
Why Keke Palmer?
Keke Palmer can embody the emotion behind my story. When it comes to picking the right person, it can't just be. I can't be like Queen Latifah. I love her, but she can't. She can't play me. You know what I mean? I think Keke Palmer would embody me to the fullest, from like the mannerisms to the emotion to the story to the Keke Palmer is bomb. Like, I would love for her to like really be that for me.
And hopefully one day, if I have the opportunity, I can introduce
y'all.
Hey,
if that happens, bro, I'm telling you,
man. God gonna put in that work, man. I know He is.
Man, Keke Palmer, shout out to you, man. I'm a fan.
On a lighter note, what's one pregame ritual, snack, or superstition that that a player has that might take the world by storm?
That a player I got.
Either one of y'all. What's your ritual snacks or something you have, and then what's ones a player has that's weird or different or somebody you ain't seen? Everybody got their little claps, their little knee clap, little pat.
When I used to play, people used to laugh at me. When I used to play, I used to walk on my tippy toes from the baseline to half court and then walk backwards.
Wow.
I'm flat-footed. So I used to think in my head, if I did that, my feet would get loose. But I think it just made me look goofy. Like, I used to walk on my, like, if you ever watch any of my film back in the day, I used to walk on my tippy toes. And I just be bouncing. and I walk backwards, and the people look at me like, what the hell is she doing? But I used to do that. And I would listen to like R&B, like sad-ass R&B songs. And people are like, why you listen to sad R&B songs when you work out? Because it's like that pain, that heartache, it make you want to go hard, man.
Who's your favorite artist?
Right now? I ain't gonna lie. K. Michelle. I listen to K. Michelle all the time. Like,
what's your favorite song?
It's too many. Right now, my favorite song from her is probably Hurt Shit. Hurt Shit, probably my favorite song.
Oh, that's your favorite.
I was just talking about something. You gotta get through that hurt shit, man. I'm a bad bitch and I'm a savage. I just gotta figure out how to get through this hurt shit, man. That's my piece. I be in the weight room just, oh, you hurt me. I don't know who hurt me today.
Hey man, feel my pain.
Yeah,
real.
So I listen to all R&B song. I don't listen to that turned up shit unless I just having a good ass day.
Yeah.
But if I'm like trying to get that work in, I'm listening to R&B, some sad shit, some unbreak my heart, whatever gonna make me spice it up. So that. But I've seen some weird stuff. I've seen some kids do some eating like Takis before they play.
Yeah, Takis used to be big though. I ain't gonna lie. Takis used to be real big.
But when you coaching and you got to be in a huddle with people, especially like niggas that don't eat gum or kids that don't eat gum and mints, that shit stink.
Yeah,
it's bad. So
red lips, red.
It's nasty, and the fingers. I'm really big on cleanliness. Like, I seen some weird stuff.
Basketball, you gotta wipe it out.
I seen somebody sneeze in their hand, wipe their snot, and then touch a ball, and I'm like, bro, it's a grown man. You gotta go home. Like, what I mean? It's weird
going
stuff
on out
like
here.
that. I can't do it. That's
crazy. So when y'all travel as a team. Y'all stay in the same like hotel. Do games mostly happen here in Atlanta?
It depends. Like, we go to New Orleans in 2 weeks. Yeah, we go to New Orleans in 2 weeks. With my women, we sometimes we carpool, sometimes they drive their own. It just depends on the situation. But I really just try to get them out of Atlanta and get exposed. I mean, I feel like everybody in Atlanta do the same thing, but I try to get out and go get money. Like, we got invited to a money tournament in Florida for $15K.
Sheesh.
So, them niggas got to figure out their way to get there. When I travel, I don't do Spirit. I'm gone. I see y'all when I get there because I make a vacation when I travel. So when we got a game on Saturday, I probably take off on Thursday, make a vacation, play, and then take off Sunday. But yeah, most of the time they either drive or they fly, depending on their finances.
This next one in Florida, when is it happening?
That one in Florida, I think that's next April or May next year. Yeah,
I'll definitely try to be there. I'll try to be there.
Sometime, we do 1v1s now too. So like,
yeah, I've been seeing that.
Yeah, that stuff is right here in Atlanta. So we just try to do stuff for community, man. That can show that we can do positive things in Atlanta.
Do y'all have the events at a set venue every time? Like people can know where to go if they wanted to find out about this information?
Yeah, it's Agnes Scott College right there in Decatur. So we partnered up with them. This is our second one. Our first one we sold out crazy. Like it was packed. The second one is it's a Halloween theme, so we'll do it at that one as well. So
I've heard you say a couple of things that really brightened my senses. It made my tingly senses go off in the business sense. You say partnered. You said multiple things like you did the things that you've done for these student scholarships, and people don't do that without having some sense of business aspect. Where did you get most of that from? Where did that knowledge come from? I'm trying to learn the business world right now, and it is hard.
It is hard. You know what? I'm a sponge. When something interests me, I really like deep dive and study it. When I learned about running a team, that was just a leap of faith. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm big on organization, so like I planned all our games. I'm big on communication, so I was able to like reach out to players and coaches and line those games up. Partnerships is hard to get. Sponsorship is hard to get, but I just tell my story. Either you're gonna fuck with my story or you're not. So I just always tell my story, and people that believe in the story, they lock in. Like this upcoming event, we got 12 vendors, and that just came off of me having conversation with people. But I got a business degree. I'm not gonna say I sit here and learn everything with business degree because shit, ChatGPT do a little bit. But for the most part, I did learn about numbers and accounting and stuff like that. But I just research stuff, man. I just try and error. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Just try to see what works.
Life is your biggest lesson, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Biggest teacher, for real.
Yeah. You're going to fail something, you're going to pass something. And that's just what I do.
How many fails have you taken versus the wins?
A lot. I took a fail. I fell on Friday. I took an L. Not going to lie to you. I took a big L. And, it is what it is.
Bounce back from it.
Got to bounce back. I mean, I can't sit there and dwell on it. I got a wife. I got a family. I can't be the one walking around sad all the time. She'll be like, I don't want to be with you because you sad. You know what I mean? Luckily, she's not. But I don't want to be that sad person that's always in the mood and you don't want to talk to me and there's always negativity. Like, we're going to make some positive out of it.
Hey, man, when one door closes, another one will open. Absolutely. And I'm sure that door will open, hopefully by Friday.
Hey, look.
You're stacking degrees while building athletes. How do you keep yourself motivated to keep learning when you're already accomplished? Degree after degree after degree. I'm reading. I see it now.
Shit tiring. I ain't gonna lie. I just be like, the more I can do, the more I can. I always think about the growth and the financial part. If I can get all these accolades, then that dollar sign gonna make sense. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to be able to take care of my family. And I know the knowledge I have behind my skill is gonna always equal to what I'm trying to do. So, I got 4 degrees. I'm not getting no more. I'm done, I put it on the wall, and it's all cool. And it's sad that nowadays I feel like it don't matter what you study, what you do, more about who you know. But at least I can say I accomplished something that they told me I couldn't do. They said I couldn't go to college. I got 4 degrees now.
Trying to tell you.
So I'm popping my shit with that.
Yeah, say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Nah, with 4 degrees, it's magical, especially with the ones I got. I didn't want to get any degrees and, made myself proud with that one.
That's real. When you think about legacy, what do you hope people will say about Dominique Stringer 20 years from now?
I want to say I put other people first. Not in a bad way, but I care about my community. It's not about what I got or anything. If I say I'm going to help somebody, I'm not looking for nothing in return. Never. If I can help one person this year, either get out of a situation where they can't financially survive or they can be the first in their family to go to college, I want them to always say that I cared. That's really all I want to do. And that's really it, I think when I think about my life, I want to be something that I didn't have growing up. And that's why mentorship means so much to me, because it's people like me that helps the next people go above and further.
Absolutely. So. Hey, man, I wish... Is your mom still living?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I wish you would have brought her to the podcast. I wish you would have had the opportunity.
She usually does, man. She was the last one, man. She's always just sitting in the back taking pictures, man. And I don't speak on her enough, but I will say my mom is my everything. Like, yeah.
I was just gonna say.
I can't even put the words with my mom. I mean, my mom has been there for every moment from birth until now. Like, she's never took a break off. Like, everybody's like, your mom is that everything. Absolutely. When you have a story like us, when you had to get it out the mud, literally, my mom deserves the world. And if I can ever bring her the stars and the moon and the sun, I'm going to do it, because she gave me everything. To this day, she brought a house just so we can make sure we come to Atlanta, we could be there. You know what I mean? Like, my mom is everything. So shout out to Sharice, man. Sharice, you are my heart. You are my soul. You are my best friend. I love you for life and more. And you deserve everything the world's going to give you.
I tell you, that's dope. That's beautiful, man. Hey, that's real. That's the first time I've done it on this podcast.
Yeah. My mama, everything, man.
If you had a chance to speak to every young girl who has ever felt overlooked in sports, what was one thing you would tell her?
That's tough, because I feel like I'll be talking to myself.
Speak to that little girl in you.
From my heart, I would tell any kid, any woman, any kid, any youngin', find a purpose. Like I said earlier, you got 2 choices. You're going to either make somebody that doubted you right, or prove to yourself that you worth it. And I always talk about worth, because us as black young ladies, when we growing up, it's so much we're going against. Looking pretty. You got to look this way. You got to have this kind of hair. It's so many people that's putting stuff against us in this world. You got to find your purpose. You have to figure out what you want, how you're going to be driven for it. And for me, I had to realize that I couldn't let my mom down. So I tell any young lady right now, find a purpose. Make yourself proud. Push yourself to the limits, because it's already going to be haters. The world going to go against you. But find something that's instilled in you to make you keep going further. So that's what I always say. It's hard to find something like, okay, maybe this boy like me. The boy like you, okay, make me feel like that's your purpose. If you want to get out the house, I know all the girls, we want to get away from their parents, go party. If you want to get out the house, make that your motivation. But find something that's going to keep you going.
Last but not least, man, when it's all said and done, what do you want your pain, struggles, and victories to fuel in the lives of others?
Shit. Rejection creates Rejection creates successful stories. No matter what you're going through, however you turn it, it's going to be a story that's good or a story that's bad. For me, my story came from a very ugly beginning, but I can see it now and say, everything that I did not dream that myself would be doing, I'm doing everything that I wasn't doing. From college, from my business, to love, to shit. Rejection made everything happen for me. Like, again, like, college was the first step. when I went to college, that was the first thing, you know. Get in love, you had to love yourself first. I loved myself when I realized I was worthy of anything. So self-worth is the biggest thing, and I think that self-worth allowed me to be here right now and feel confident in who I am.
That's real. And I appreciate you for coming out, man. Before we end the podcast, I just want to take this time out to say thank you so much. You don't even know, like, you reaching out, man. You know, you're the first person to actually not give me any pushback on paying that fee.
Really? Nah, see, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of times where people are entrepreneurs and you got to pay for the things that you do. They don't be realizing, bro. You got to. I didn't mind when you said that. When you said the fee, I said, shit, I'm investing myself. It's an investment. I know that your platform, I did my research like anybody else should. To my research, I said, okay, what you stand for speaks to me. And that's why I reached out. Like I said, Jay reached out to me. Shout out to Jay.
Man,
Jay was like, Jay was like, you got to get on this podcast. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I looked into it, I'm like, okay, mental health. Like, this is, and for a black man to be doing it, I got to give you your flowers, because black men don't willingly talk about mental health. It's hard. They got a lot of pride. So, you know, I did my research on you, and I'm like, this speaks to me. So paying a fee to be on your platform means nothing but growth for me, and hopefully I can pour into what you're doing. So that didn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you your flowers while I had the opportunity.
Oh, man. This podcast, let me tell you something. I watched some stuff on YouTube. I went to your website. I saw the clothing brand. I saw the accomplishments you did at school. And like I said, I'm just going to point to people that I feel like deserve it. It's a lot of people out here that got podcasts and got all these followers. That don't mean nothing to me if it don't mean nothing. Absolutely. If you don't have no backbone to say, if you're just doing it for likes, for me, that don't do nothing. I'm not getting paid off likes. When you got a mission, you talk about mental health and you giving opportunities and you creating these platforms, and for people to come here and say how they need help, I commend you, because what you're doing is probably going to save a lot of lives. And being a black man that has these goals, I got nothing but love for you.
It go both ways, man.
For sure.
Always one caller. You got my number now, so we're locked in for life. Look. I promise. Also, I will be, how many players you got on your team?
12, 13.
Okay. 12, 13. I'm going to make it my mission to give all of them a Fueled by Pain workout shirt. The entire team.
Don't you get them excited?
The entire team. I got you, man. I got you.
I would love for you to even come talk to them, man. Like, I think that I always try to put them in rooms, not even just my player, like black men in rooms that they can learn from. Like, I've sat in rooms with them before and we talked about, we was in tears, like just talking about life. I like to have men that can talk to other men. Absolutely. And I don't think a lot of people, I think a lot of men that have a platform think they're too good sometimes. And for me, it's like, man, there's so many men that need that. You know, whether it's talking about, I don't know, their kids. Man, I got so many men that got kids that are great fathers, but they got to deal with so much negativity in the world, and they don't have an outlet. I think one of my players just reached out on Instagram, was like, is there any black man I want to start a group to just talk? And I think that's needed.
Let's do it.
I think that's needed, 100%. Even if it's on FaceTime, like, men need to talk.
An hour. It don't take much. It don't take long. Like, I be telling my bros, like, y'all boys, let's hop on FaceTime. I ain't seen y'all faces. You know, I'm trying to hear y'all voices. You know, not even y'all,
Yeah, you know, people start turning.
You know, but nah, for real, man. Your brothers need love too, man. That girl that you're calling, you know, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of times, not to sound sexist or anything, but a lot of times it's the men that really feel like they don't have any support.
Yeah.
A lot of women, a lot of times, get reached out to. A lot of women get reached out to, and it's not because a lot of times it's not because of the right reasons, but it happens.
Yeah.
So if you're a man out there, man, take the time today and tell your brother you love him, man. Do that.
Nah, it's needed. Like I said, I'm around men all the time, and I wish they would talk, because they call me. Men would call me all day, every day. My players would call me and just talk about anything, everything. So I think, like, yeah, some groups. If you ever start a group, man, let me know. I will send it to the whole group chat, and I would be like, this is mandatory for the week. Like,
well, you know how we gonna start it off? We'll wait till I come out and meet your guys, and they'll be the first guys to be introduced in the conversation.
Let's do it.
That's word. Hey, man. There we go again with another Fueled by Pain podcast, another one for the century. I cannot thank you enough, Miss Dominique Stringer. Thank you so much. We out. Yeah.